Welcome to the Pixel Pub. We talk about a lot of different tech down here, and that's honestly one of my favorite things about this place, is that we're pretty non-tech discriminatory down here. Unless you actually like things like the metaverse. I wanted to talk about something a little bit different than gaming PCs though. I'm heading to Midwest Fest this weekend, so I wanted to share with you all my favorite go-to essential tech when going and filming at a convention. Or I guess, is this more of a festival? Either way, let's talk about that tech, as well as I'm gonna fill you in on a couple of my top secret vlogging tips at the end of the video. So first off, what exactly is vlogging? I mean, it's one of those terms that's been around as long as the internet. People use it, a lot of people know it, but what exactly is it? Now, obviously the contraction of the words video blog is what vlog stands for, but what exactly makes a regular video into a vlog? I couldn't find anything on the internet that really told me what exactly a vlog was. The only thing that I could find was a couple of entries talking about kind of the idea behind the vlog, being a little bit more personal, being something that you could share your opinions and have a conversation more than maybe a how-to video. So then, is this a vlog? I'm not 100% sure. I'm just kind of going off and copying what I see other vloggers do. So we're officially headed to Midwest Fest this weekend. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to make this video, because I'm planning on vlogging going to that festival. There's going to be a lot of esports tournaments, there's going to be a lot of gaming, it's going to be a lot of vendor booths and other creators there. And it's one of those things that I kind of wanted to not only document the occasion, I think it's always just really fun. I wanted to also practice this kind of video style because it's a little bit different than some of my normal videos, but I also wanted it to be that resource. When I am familiar with a lot of this technology, when I've played with a lot of this technology, I want to be able to share that with everybody else. So here's what I use when I'm going to a convention like this to film. So this is basically the vlogger's dream. After doing a ton of research, the Sony ZV-E10 is one of the best bang for your buck kinds of cameras, with the ability to capture amazing quality, some of the best video around without breaking the budget, at least completely. It's still pretty expensive. Even right now, after being a couple years old, it's still like 600 bucks. I picked mine up for a little bit cheaper used on eBay, but you do have to be a little bit careful doing that. This camera has a lot to love though. Great, really inexpensive interchangeable batteries. The flip out screen is an absolute must if you are vlogging. And the fact that this has interchangeable lenses. It's also about as compact as a camera with this quality gets. Again, I'm not going to dive into a bunch of specs. We typically don't do that here on this channel. There's a million other camera creators on YouTube that know way more about these things than I do. They all have reviews on this camera, I guarantee it. To go along with a camera like this, you need some sort of microphone. I've got the Deity D4 Mini shotgun microphone. Unfortunately, the microphones that are built into these cameras are not ideal, especially when you're going to a convention where you are not going to have ideal sound conditions either. You need something like this. And we're going to talk about a couple of other options as well, but I think this is one of the simplest, least expensive options that you can get. Plugs directly into the camera and the audio syncs right up with the video. And then no vlogging setup is complete without some sort of gimbal or tripod. To be completely honest, I'm a fan of the tripod when I'm taking this big of a camera. One, just because gimbals are really expensive, and two, because I think that when you're moving, I think adding a little bit of shake in there is part of what makes a vlog a vlog. Not to mention, I think a tripod like this is actually super handy to be able to, one, not only be able to wrap it up, hold it a little bit better, but you can wrap this around poles, wrap it around just about anything to be able to get that exact shot that you need. Now again, depending on your exact style of content creation, you might be looking at something a little bit different. Depending on exactly where you're going, you might want a tripod that sits on the ground. But this Joby GorillaPod has been working well for me for many, many years. All right, so if you're not looking for a full-on camera setup like the Sony ZV-E10, let's go take a look at what some of your other options might look like. I showed you the Sony camera, the shotgun microphone, and the Joby GorillaPod. This here is just about any smartphone put on a Jihoon gimbal. This is going to provide you a lot of the same types of smoothness, a lot of the same quality of video. And then here I've actually got the Hollyland Lark M1 microphone, wireless microphone. So, and the nice thing about these types of microphones is they're able to isolate a lot of noise. They're a lot more directed so that when there's a lot of people around me, this might be a really good option. But also most of these come with 2 microphones. So if I'm talking to somebody, I can give them a microphone. These are really, really versatile, especially great if you are moving around. Whenever I'm building a computer, this is the microphone that I'm going to be using to make sure that I have hands-free and I'm always going to get the same audio no matter where I'm at. Those are the 2 kinds of setups that I would really start to recommend for people. And honestly, you can kind of mix and match whatever works the best for you. If you want to use a shotgun microphone with your smartphone, you want to get a gimbal for your DSLR, you can do all of that, right? You can also use those different components within different setups. That's why I just have all of it so that I can use whatever I need when I need it. But I definitely don't think that you absolutely need all of this gear. I just want to show you kind of what I carry and what I always have with me so that I always have the best shot, the best gear for what I'm trying to do. And don't worry, links to all of this gear are going to be down in the description. Okay, so we talked about the essential gear. These are the things that make the essential gear work. You need extra batteries. Get charging packs, get battery packs. This is the Anker Nano power bank. Absolutely love this thing with the display on there. Shows you exactly how much battery you got left. Make sure those things are charged up the night before and make sure that you bring them with you. The other thing that I can't stress enough is some extra cables. They don't take any room in your bag to pack. Pack some extra cables. Since Midwest Fest is here in my hometown of Kansas City, I will be coming home every night, so I don't really have to worry about bringing a laptop or anything to do any editing on. But if that's the case, if I was traveling somewhere, if I was going to be in a hotel for a couple of nights, probably be bringing my laptop or iPad or however you prefer to edit your video. If you plan on getting stuff out as soon as possible, probably a good idea to bring. Outside of that, if you're planning on getting any work done, make sure you bring some noise canceling headphones, something along those lines, to make sure that you can cut out that noise and actually really focus on something. And let me just shout it out one more time. Please write this down, make a checklist, whatever you need to do. Make sure you bring those extra cables, memory cards, and batteries. They're so small, they're immensely easy to forget, but they are so important. You absolutely need all of them for any of this to work. Make sure you bring them. Honestly, I'm getting a little bit nervous about the festival. It's actually been quite a long time since I've been to anything like this. It's tomorrow. I'm really excited to be going, but most of the reason why you go to these things are for the networking opportunities. And that's one of those things that I definitely need to work on, as well as my vlogging skills. Either way, we'll see you there. Is this the best spot for background? Should I move? All right, cool. Welcome to Midwest Fest. Let's talk while we're here, a couple of like best practices when it comes to vlogging. One of those things, come prepared. I have a bullet point list of everything that I wanted to talk about specifically in this video. Now, obviously, all vlogs are gonna be a little bit different. If yours is a little bit more freeform, if yours is a little bit more focused on your experiences, yours might be a little bit different, but I like to come prepared because I'm pretty awkward with this stuff still. So big tip number 2 is film everything. Film as much as you can. Because at the end of the day, when you're at an event like this, it's never gonna happen again. Sure, it might happen next year, but it's gonna be different. This year's event is never going to happen again. Film everything that you possibly can so that when you get home, you have as much footage to work with as possible. I was gonna say one more thing on that. What was I gonna say? The most important thing is even if you don't have that story picked out in your head yet, exactly what this video is gonna be about, you know that once you get home, you have all of this footage, you can search through that footage, find those stories, find those things to emphasize. Another awesome tip, especially when you're coming to conventions, is bring a friend. My brother-in-law, John, is here with me. He helps not only with the camera work, but also in making it a little bit less awkward, walking around. There's nothing worse than walking around by yourself, not knowing what you're doing, not knowing who to talk to, just feeling really awkward by yourself. Coming with a friend, coming with a buddy can make coming to a convention feel so much more comfortable for you, especially if you're like me, a little bit on the social anxiety side of things. Another thing to remember when you're filming with this many people at a convention or at any kind of space is that you want to make sure that you are aware of other people's privacies. Now, obviously a shot like this, probably not a big deal that people are going to be in my shot in the background. Probably not a big deal, they're not recognizable. But if we are up close and personal with people, I know that for the most part, people are going to be okay with being on camera. When they come to a convention like this, they are most likely understanding that they are going to be on camera, but it's just the courteous thing to do to ask somebody if they're okay with being filmed. Another great tip when you're vlogging is to make sure you get that establishing shot. This is the shot that really allows people to understand where you are, what's going on, what the scene is that they're seeing. Then there's always the close-up. You want to get these because this really shows off your facial expressions. This is one of the best ways to relate to your audience, feel like a real person, and it's honestly a really, really easy shot to get too, right? This is a lot of what you'll see when people are carrying their cameras around. They're getting shots that are about this close. And then there's the medium shot. This one is one that just kind of switches it up a little bit. This is the one that if you're carrying your camera all day, set it down somewhere, have somebody else film for you, and get a little bit of variety in your shots. And bonus shot number 4, just do something weird. Sometimes just getting these really weird shots like this, again, adds a little bit of variety, but just makes it feel really cool. It makes your vlog, when you're talking about your life, something that might not always be the most exciting for people, makes it a little bit more exciting, makes it visually appealing, makes it fun to watch. Get those weird shots too. On to tip number, honestly, I don't remember. I didn't number them on my list. I just bullet pointed them and I don't remember what number we're on. But the next tip is to make sure that you actually network at these events too. One of the best things about conventions like this is meeting other people, finding them in real life and being able to actually put a face to their logo and putting a face to your logo as well. Don't spend all your time behind the camera talking to yourself like I'm doing right now, and actually go and talk to people. Another question I get asked a lot when vlogging is, what do I even talk about? What do I showcase? What do I film? There's a lot of different ways that can be answered. Obviously, when you focus in on the niche of your channel, there should be a lot of different things that we can talk about. While my channel is very focused on technology and gaming PCs, that's what we're talking about. We are also probably going to go and play a bunch of these gaming PCs, take a look at a lot of the RGB going on, and have some fun with the tech in the world. Think about the idea. If somebody was here right now with you, interviewing you, what questions would they be asking? What questions would your audience be asking you? Answer those questions like you're in an interview. All right, that's probably good.